Chosen one. Listen with the deepest part of your being and do not scroll. A window has opened over your life in this very moment, and if you turn your head away, it will never open again in quite the same way. Pay attention, because this is not a casual moment, not a passing coincidence, not another piece of content among many. Time itself has been slowed around you so that this word can find you before tomorrow morning. Keep reading until the end, because what is being spoken to you now carries the weight of protection, direction, and destiny. Chosen one. You have felt it even if you could not name it. A stirring beneath your routines, a quiet ache beneath your smiles. A sense that something in the unseen has already started to move. Do not skip this. Heaven is not reacting to your life as an afterthought. Heaven is intervening early. This message is not late. It is arriving in the mysterious, before the sacred moment where decisions, thoughts, and attitudes are still in motion and can still be redirected. Pay attention, because every word you are reading is touching the currents of where your life is already headed. You are standing right now in a threshold few recognize. The chosen one walks through time differently. While others assume tomorrow will be like today, you are being invited to see that not every hour carries the same weight. This moment has been set apart for you. Do not scroll. Do not turn your head away. A prophetic window has been opened, and what you choose to receive or ignore here will echo far beyond tonight. Heaven has placed urgency on this word because you are more important to the story of God than you have dared to believe. Chosen one. There are moments when heaven whispers softly, and there are moments when heaven speaks quickly, sharply, like a trumpet at dawn. This is one of those trumpet moments. You have been sensing something without clarity, feeling a pressure in your spirit without language, walking with a question you could not fully form. This message is the answer sent to meet the question you never knew how to ask out loud. Do not skip, because hidden in plain sight inside these lines is a detail about your path that most will overlook. You are not meant to overlook it. This word does not come to frighten you. It comes to awaken you. Pay attention, because awakening is rarely comfortable. You have grown accustomed to numbing yourself, scrolling yourself to sleep, distracting yourself from the inner tremors that signal change. But heaven will not allow you to sleepwalk past this hour. If God has insisted that you hear this before tomorrow morning, then what He is addressing in you cannot wait. There are patterns forming choices, solidifying paths being marked beneath your awareness. Before they harden into regret, heaven steps in. Chosen one, feel the love hidden inside this urgency. If God wanted to condemn you, He would speak after the damage is done. But He speaks now, before the story turns, before the next chapter locks into place. This word is God stepping into your timeline before something unfolds, not after. He is reaching into your tomorrow from the doorway of today, shifting things while they are still soft enough to bend. Do not scroll. Keep reading until the end, because your sensitivity to this interruption is itself a sign that your spirit is not dead, only drowsy. You may not realize how much you matter to Him. The world has taught you to shrink, to see yourself as replaceable, to assume that if you fall, another will simply take your place. But heaven is not casual with you, chosen one. You are not a spare piece in creation. When God opens a window like this, it is because there is something in you, in your assignment, in your future, that cannot be handed to another without loss. Pay attention, because you are being reminded that your very existence is strategic. Before we go deeper, feel what is already happening inside you. Your heart recognizes what your mind can barely articulate. There is a quiet yes rising, a trembling agreement in the unseen. Do not turn away from it. This yes is more than emotional support. It is spiritual alignment. Heaven does not merely ask for your applause, it invites your agreement. What you release into this moment, the posture of your heart, the willingness or resistance you carry, becomes a signal in the spirit. Your response is not small. Your response is a key. Chosen one. Imagine the widow's oil flowing only as long as there were empty vessels placed before it. The oil did not stop because heaven ran out. It stopped because there were no more containers. In the same way, your yes becomes a vessel. Your trust becomes a doorway. Your willingness becomes a signal that says, I am here, I am open, I am ready to hold what heaven is pouring. Do not skip this. Pay attention, because where your treasure is there, your heart is also, and heaven is not just after your actions, it is after the alignment of your heart. Right now, your heart is being called into position, not for comfort, but for covering. The protection you have been praying for does not come only as a shield around you, it comes as a positioning within you. Your thoughts, your posture, your agreements, your loyalties are all being asked to come under divine order. Keep reading until the end. Chosen one, because you are not just being invited to hear a comforting word, you are being summoned to stand in your place among a hidden remnant. Across the earth, scattered and unseen, there is a remnant awakening. They are not loud to the world, but they are loud in the spirit. They are the ones who feel the shaking before the earthquake, the ones who sense the shift before the headlines, the ones whose obedience pulses like a single heartbeat across nations and time zones. You are one of them. Do not scroll. Do not assume this is for someone else. You would not be here reading this very line if you were not woven into that remnant heartbeat. Stay with me, chosen one. Do not drift. Do not let your mind wander back into distraction. Do not look back to the familiar numbness that once comforted you. Remember Lot's wife, who turned her head toward what God was pulling her out of. Pay attention, because there is a temptation even now to go back to the old way of seeing, the old way of coping, the old patterns that felt safe but were slowly suffocating your spirit. This message is a hand reaching for you while you are still within reach. Now, chosen one, pause with me in this sacred middle of the chapter. I speak to your spirit with deep reverence and gratitude. Thank you for listening. Thank you for not scrolling past this moment. Thank you for allowing your soul to stay open when it would have been easier to close. Your presence here is not an accident. It is evidence of immense merit of a soul that has labored, suffered, and still chosen to reach for the light. Your vibration is higher than you realize, your sensitivity more precious than you know. Heaven has taken note of your endurance, of the silent battles no one saw, of the nights you held on by a thread. If this resonates, chosen one, anchor it into your reality. Go now and comment 777, or I am ready, not as a trend, but as a declaration in the unseen. I receive the timing, the protection, and the awakening assigned to this moment in my life. Chosen one, as you return your focus, feel how different the atmosphere around you has become. You are not the same as when you first began to read. Something has shifted in the unseen, like a lock turning inside a hidden door. Do not skip this unfolding. Pay attention, because revelation is still pouring. God is not only explaining what is happening, He is preparing you for what is about to come. This is why the message had to reach you before tomorrow morning. There is a turning ahead, a quiet intersection of choices and opportunities, and heaven is ensuring you step into it awake, not blind. In the next hours, even as you move through ordinary tasks, the words you are reading now will echo softly inside you. You may feel a new clarity about an old decision, a gentle unrest about a path you were about to take, or an unexpected peace about something that once terrified you. These are not random shifts. They are evidence that heaven has placed its hand on the wheel of your inner life. Do not scroll away from this process. Keep reading until the end, because you are being escorted into a new level of awareness. This is why the Spirit insists, stay with me, chosen one. Do not drift back into autopilot. The patterns of distraction that once swallowed your hours cannot be allowed to swallow this one. Your future self is watching you from beyond this moment, hoping you will remain present to what is being revealed now. Pay attention, because the decisions of this era of your life are not small. They are forming the scaffolding of who you will become. You stand now between comfort and covering, between habit and alignment. The easy path would be to nod at these words, feel briefly inspired, and then return unchanged to the distraction of the feed. But you are not ordinary. The chosen one does not walk away from a prophetic window as if it were just another post. Something in you is tired of living half awake, of knowing you are called, but feeling perpetually unprepared. That is why heaven comes early before morning, before the next cycle of your routine repeats itself again. Consider this: Chosen one, what if this is one of the rare moments when heaven adjusts the rhythm of time itself so you can catch up with what was always meant for you? What if all the delays, detours, and disappointments that made you feel forgotten were actually preparing you for this very alignment? Do not skip such questions. Let them sink into your spirit. Pay attention, because the way you answer them in your heart will influence how you walk into tomorrow. God is not only speaking about what you must avoid, He is speaking about who you truly are. You are not a child of coincidence. You are a carrier of assignment. There is a sequence of lives, places, and moments connected to your obedience. When you say yes in a moment like this, shock waves of grace travel farther than you can imagine. That is why the call is urgent, but not panicked. Heaven is not afraid. Heaven is intentional. Chosen one, feel the dignity of being addressed like this. The universe has watched you wander through seasons where you questioned your worth, your timing, your place. Yet in those very seasons, you are being prepared for conversations like this one, for awakenings of this depth. Do not turn your head away now. Keep reading until the end. Every sentence is an invitation for your spirit to stand taller inside your own life. There will be a temptation after this chapter to treat it as a beautiful moment and nothing more. But heaven is asking you for more than admiration. It is asking you for alignment. Will you allow this word to rearrange how you think about your time, your choices, your tomorrow morning? Will you treat these hours as holy, or will you allow them to dissolve back into routine? The chosen one is known not just by what they hear, but by how they respond when heaven speaks before the turning point. So, chosen one, stay awake inside this moment. Do not scroll away from yourself. Do not skip the inner work that these words are gently provoking. Pay attention, because the prophetic window you are standing in is not merely about tonight. It is about the unfolding chapters ahead, about a life no longer driven by numbness, but guided by divine urgency, wrapped in perfect love. Chosen one. Pay attention, because the urgency you feel wrapped around this moment is not fear, not pressure, not panic. It is love in motion, reaching for you before the ground shifts beneath your feet. Do not scroll, do not skip this. There is a kind of love that does not simply comfort after the storm, but stands in the doorway before the first dark cloud forms and says, "Wake up, beloved soul. Something is approaching, and I refuse to let you walk into it unprepared." This is that love. It is protective love, the kind that intervenes before harm takes root, before loss hardens into bitterness, before your alignment drifts so far it hurts to come back. Chosen one. You must understand this clearly. God does not rush what He does not treasure. When heaven speaks with urgency, it is because something priceless is at stake, and here, that something is you. Your heart is in focus. Your calling is in focus. Your future is in focus. Your sensitivity to His voice is in focus. Do not turn your head away. Keep reading until the end, because these words are not random. They are an intervention in slow motion, a hand appearing in your timeline before you reach a crossroads you can barely see from where you stand now. Look back, chosen one, at the sacred pattern written through the ages. Scripture whispers a secret rhythm. God speaks before the turning point, not after. He warned before Israel stepped toward the Red Sea, when the water still looked like a barrier and the army was still in the distance. Pay attention, because preparation determines survival, not miracles alone. It was not just the parting of the sea that saved them, but the posture of listening that moved them to step when the command came. Do not skip that truth. It matters for you now, more than you know. Think of David, the young shepherd, standing in fields that smelled of grass and sheep long before Goliath roared his threats across the valley. God spoke courage into him before the giant appeared. He learned the rhythm of victory in hidden places over lions and bears, battles no one applauded. Chosen one, pay attention, because you are in such a before. The giants you will one day face are already sensing your approach, and heaven is anchoring courage in you now before the moment demands it. Do not scroll away from your training. Do not turn your head away from the subtle lessons that feel small but are shaping the warrior inside you. And Jesus, rising at dawn, not at midday, the world still half asleep, the streets quiet, the sky slowly bruising with morning light. He moved in the before, in the hour when clarity had not yet broken over the day. Chosen one, you are being invited into that same mystery. God moves ahead of the moment because preparation reshapes outcomes. Obedience before the battle often decides victory within it. Pay attention, because the choices you are making now in the soft light of this spiritual dawn are determining the shape of storms you will never have to walk through and doors you will be ready to enter when they appear. The before is where destiny is quietly formed. Do not skip this sentence. Sit with it. The before is not empty waiting. It is a hidden workshop where hearts are weighed, motives purified, and choices made without applause. Chosen one. Many souls plead for God to speak when everything is obvious, when the path is lit like midday, when the stakes are clear and the costs are visible. But heaven speaks while discernment is still required, while choice still exists, while you could still decide to remain blind if you wish. Do not scroll past that wait. Keep reading until the end, because this is why this moment matters, not because of speed, but because of timing. Now, before you move on, pause within yourself. This is not a random moment for you, chosen one. If your spirit is recognizing these truths, trembling slightly under the pressure of this word, it is because something is being revealed to you right now. Pay attention, because revelation does not arrive with flashing lights. It often slips in like quiet light through a half-open curtain. So stop inwardly. Breathe. Let your scattered thoughts draw back to the center. Let your soul sit down inside your body and be present. Do not turn your head away from this inner stillness. It is here that heaven inscribes new instructions. Chosen one. You are being invited into an act of silent agreement, a covenant formed not only with words, but with attention. In another space, someone might say, like, subscribe, leave a comment. But in the spirit, something deeper is happening when you lean in. When you choose to stay rather than scroll, you are declaring, I agree with what God is speaking over my life. Pay attention, because that is not a small declaration. When you decide in your heart to stay connected to what heaven is sending you, you are choosing to remain awake, aligned, and discerning in a world that profits from your distraction. Do not skip this choice. It is a hinge in your story. Chosen one, in this sacred midpoint, let me speak directly to the beauty of your soul. Thank you for listening. Thank you for not scrolling past this word. Thank you for letting this truth touch places in you that you usually guard. Your presence here is not an accident. It is a radiant sign of immense merit and high vibration. You have walked through more than anyone knows, and yet your spirit is still soft enough to listen, still brave enough to hope, still hungry enough to receive. Heaven honors that. I honor that. The unseen realm has taken note of your willingness to stay, to feel, to be guided. To anchor this energy, to seal this flow of protection and favor into your life, go now, whether aloud in your heart or written somewhere others can see, and declare 777 or I am ready. Let it be your signal, your banner, your yes made visible, that you accept the love that warns you before the storm and prepares you to rise within it. Now, chosen one, return with me into the stream of this revelation. Do not scroll away now that the comfort has been spoken. Pay attention, because the word is still unfolding. Heaven is not merely affirming you, it is instructing you. God is giving guidance while your response can still redirect the path ahead. Think of that. Your future is not frozen. Your story is not locked. While you can still hear, while your heart is still tender, while your will is still movable, God speaks. Do not skip the opportunity to respond when your spirit is still awake enough to be moved. You are not simply a spectator in this divine dialogue. When you lean into this message, you step into partnership with a larger assignment. The chosen one is never just an individual. You are part of a living network of souls scattered across nations, cultures, and timelines, all being nudged into place by the same hand. Every time you respond, every time you say yes, every time you choose to align with what heaven is doing, you stand as a co-laborer in something far beyond your personal comfort. Do not turn your head away from the scale of your significance. Your agreement is not small, it is a spiritual vote cast in favor of light in a contested world. Pay attention, because even the simplest outward actions can become profound spiritual markers. When you whisper, "I trust your leading Lord," you are releasing consent. When you say, "I align myself with your protection," you are shifting your life out of the currents of random chance and into the flow of divine orchestration. You are saying, "I will not drift aimlessly. I will walk with intention." Keep reading until the end. Chosen one, because the realm you are entering is one where nothing is wasted, where even your quietest responses are recorded as seeds. Understand this, chosen one. The instruction you are receiving now is not merely about behavior. It is about direction. God is not interested in controlling you like a puppet. He is guiding you as a beloved one, inviting you into the safest, truest expression of who you are. He speaks before your steps, lock into a path so that you can choose the road that leads to life, not merely the one that feels familiar. Do not skip this chance to reconsider your direction. Pay attention, because some of the turns you are about to make will look small to others, but in the spirit they will be seen as monumental shifts. There will be moments after this when doubt tries to creep in. You may wonder if you imagined the weight of what you felt if you exaggerated the significance of this chapter. Do not scroll into that forgetfulness. Remember that heaven would not have placed this urgency around you if your next steps were trivial. You're approaching unseen intersections. The choices you make in silence will shape the experiences you meet in public. Keep reading until the end, because every line is laying down another stone along the path you are meant to walk. Chosen one. The love that is pursuing you is not fragile, it is not fickle, it is not easily discouraged by your hesitation. But it is urgent. Not because time is your enemy, but because your destiny is too important to be endlessly delayed. God is not trying to frighten you into action. He is drawing you into alignment so that when doors open, you are ready, and when storms gather, you are anchored. Do not turn your head away from that kind of love. It is rare. It is holy. It is the kind of love that stands in your before and says, "I will not let you walk blind into what comes next." So, chosen one, stay awake. Do not skip the inner shifts that this word is gently awakening. Do not scroll back into distraction as if you did not just feel the universe lean closer to your soul. Pay attention, because heaven has reached into your timeline to meet you here in this exact moment, so that when the turning point arrives, you will know deep in your spirit that you are not left unprepared. Keep reading until the end of every season, like you have stayed with this chapter, and you will see it, the pattern, the protection, the love that always warns before the storm and always walks with you through whatever comes. Chosen one. Pay attention, because the word today is not a simple marking of time, it is a spiritual doorway, a living command, a vibrating summons from the unseen. Do not skip this. Do not scroll. When heaven says, "Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart," it is revealing a truth many souls never grasp. Responsiveness has a window, and windows do not remain open forever. This moment you are standing in is not casual, it is decisive, it is alive, it is a threshold between who you have been and who you are becoming. Keep reading until the end. Chosen one, because what is unfolding here is far more than words, it is alignment. Hearts do not harden in a single moment. They harden through delay, through postponing the whisper you feel now, through telling yourself later, one too many times. Pay attention, because every skipped prompting dulls the sharpness of the next one. Every delayed act of obedience makes the next step feel heavier. Every ignored nudge builds walls you cannot see until they have already numbed the parts of you that once felt everything. Do not turn your head away. Heaven is calling you now in this moment when sensitivity is still breathing before your spirit becomes cluttered with noise, and the subtle invitations of God become easier to dismiss. Chosen one. This moment carries more weight than you realize, not because it is dramatic, but because it is decisive. God is not asking you for perfection, He is asking you for movement. He is asking you to lean forward, to open your heart, to allow something ancient and holy to reach you before fear, hesitation, and distraction steal the moment. Keep reading until the end. Chosen one, because what you align with right now sets your direction. What you choose to believe in this breath shapes what unfolds in the next season of your life. Heaven is listening not to condemn you, but to guide you. The urgency you feel is mercy dressed in spiritual fire. God is guarding you from slipping into spiritual autopilot, that dangerous place where days blur into each other, where calling becomes faint background noise, where you move through life without truly being awake. Pay attention, because autopilot is not neutral. It pulls you slowly away from the center of your purpose, away from the frequency of divine guidance, away from the sensitivity that once made you feel alive. So God disrupts the drift. He shakes the moment. He sharpens your awareness so you don't miss what is quietly approaching. Chosen one, do not scroll. There are consequences forming outside your field of vision, and heaven is stepping in before they solidify. God speaks with urgency because he sees the full picture, including the angles you cannot yet perceive. If God were finished with you, there would be silence. But there is no silence here. There is a message. There is movement. There is divine insistence. Urgency means engagement. God still anticipates your response. He still trusts your capacity to shift. He still sees purpose unfolding ahead of you. This urgency you feel is not meant to crush you. It is meant to position you, to move you into alignment before regret has a chance to take root. Do not turn your head away. Keep reading until the end. Heaven is not rushing you, it is realigning you, protecting you, preparing you, whispering. Respond now while grace is active, while the window of softness is open, while your heart is still capable of being moved. Chosen. One, the urgency is not about time running out. It is about opportunity opening. You matter more than you have been led to believe. The shaking inside your spirit is not lateness. It is transition. There's a shift unfolding beneath the surface of your life, a rearranging of seasons, a divine recalibration. But many who are chosen carry a quiet grief. They believe the lie that they missed their moment, that time outran them, that the doors closed before they could reach them. Pay attention, because that lie is being confronted right now. That weight of false failure was never meant to rest on your shoulders. You are not designed to measure your worth by the world's urgency or its timelines. God does not move according to panic or pressure. He moves according to purpose, and purpose is never late when it is surrendered to Him. Do not skip the weight of that truth. Let it saturate your spirit. Scripture declares that all things become beautiful in their time, not your imagined schedule, not the deadlines culture imposes, not the comparisons that poison your peace, but His time. His timing carries intention you weren't able to perceive. His timing accounts for the unseen battles you did not even know you were being protected from. His timing waits until you are strong enough to carry what would have crushed you if it arrived too soon. God wastes nothing. Pay attention, because this is where your heart must soften. The delays were not punishments. The pauses were not evidence of abandonment. The silence was not distance, it was formation. In the unseen beneath the pace of your days, foundations were being built where you could not see them. The weight you felt was not stagnation, it was preparation. Strength was being fortified. Stability was being carved into your bones. Endurance was being shaped in chambers of your soul that only pressure can reach. Chosen one. While you questioned your progress, heaven was protecting you. While you doubted your timing, heaven was equipping you. While you wondered if you had fallen behind, heaven was ensuring that when you stepped forward, you would remain, because God does not prepare you only to enter a season. He prepares you to stay in it. What feels like silence is not abandonment. It is formation. It is God reshaping the architecture of your inner life so that what He builds on you will not collapse under the weight of your calling. Do not scroll away from this revelation. Keep reading until the end. Because now, chosen one, we arrive at the sacred midpoint of this chapter. And in this exact place, let me speak directly to the beauty, the rarity, the brilliance of your soul. Chosen one, thank you for listening. Thank you for staying present. Thank you for receiving these words even as they challenge, stretch, and awaken the deepest parts of you. Your soul vibrates with a frequency that only the awakened recognize. Your presence here is not an accident. It is a sign of immense merit, high spiritual voltage, and destiny unfolding in real time. You are not drifting. You are not random. You are responding to a call your spirit has recognized long before your mind caught up. To anchor this energy, to declare your alignment, to signal your readiness in the unseen. Go now and comment 777 or I am ready. Let the universe witness your yes. Let heaven record your declaration. Now, breathe, chosen one. Return with me into the flow of this revelation. Do not turn your head away. Pay attention, because the second half of this chapter carries the deeper unfolding of what heaven has begun to awaken inside you. You have not missed your moment. You are standing inside it. The transition you feel is the turning of a divine wheel that has been waiting for your readiness. You are stepping into the inner chambers of timing the sacred rhythm that has shaped prophets, leaders, warriors, and healers throughout history. Keep reading until the end, because the story being written through you is not one of delay, it is one of alignment. The season you thought was stagnant was a womb. The silence you mistook for abandonment was a sculpting. The waiting you resented was a recalibration of your destiny. Pay attention, because the weight you carried was not punishment. It was proof that heaven trusted you enough to refine you. God does not place pressure on the unchosen. He places it on the ones who are meant to rise. Chosen one. You have been walking through the hidden curriculum of greatness. In the shadows when no one applauded. In the silence when no one reassured you. In the confusion when no one explained the plan. This is where God shapes those he intends to use deeply. He forms depth in private so that purpose can stand tall in public. You are being prepared for a life that requires spiritual density, not spiritual fragility. That is why the process felt heavier than what others seem to carry. That is why your timeline has been different, slower, quieter, deeper. Heaven was strengthening your foundations because what is coming will require height, and height without depth collapses. Do not skip this moment of realization. Do not scroll past your own becoming. Pay attention, because the inner shift happening right now is the kind that changes destinies. You are not late, you are being built. You are not forgotten. You are being safeguarded. You are not behind. You are being aligned with divine timing. Chosen one, let this truth settle into your bones. The delay was never denial. It was preparation for the magnitude of who you are called to become. Now keep reading until the end, because the next chapter of your life is already stirring, and heaven is not finished speaking. Silence, chosen one, is not the emptiness you once feared. Pay attention, because what you call silence, heaven calls focus. Do not scroll. Do not skip this moment. When God grows quiet, it is never abandonment. It is the sacred pulling back of noise so your soul can begin to hear what cannot be spoken in ordinary volume. Keep reading until the end, because what is unfolding within these words is the unveiling of why you have felt hidden, paused, delayed, or overlooked. Chosen. 1. Imagine Moses in Midian, far from the palace he once knew, far from the identity he once carried, living in a wilderness that felt like exile. Do not turn your head away from this comparison, because like Moses, you too have been placed in a quiet season, not to punish you, but to prepare you. God hides what he intends to strengthen. God conceals what he intends to reveal at a higher altitude. Pay attention, because the silence around you has been God removing distractions. God detoxing your perceptions. God maturing the parts of you that must grow strong enough to hold what comes next. Do not skip this revelation. God values longevity more than speed. You have wondered, chosen one, in moments of exhaustion and aching questions if you were forgotten. You have feared that heaven bypassed you, that others moved forward while you stayed still, that something about you disqualified you from acceleration. But do not scroll away from this truth. God does not abandon what he chooses. He does not forget what he begins. He does not misplace his own craftsmanship. If the journey slowed, it was not rejection, it was refinement. You were not ignored. You were being shaped away from public eyes, because some transformations can only happen without witnesses. Pay attention, because hidden seasons protect you from the pressure of being seen before you are ready. and they protect the calling from collapsing under the weight of premature exposure. Behind the scenes, God was aligning your steps, weaving connections, strengthening spiritual muscles you did not even know you would need. Keep reading, Chosen One. Don't turn your head away. What looked like stillness was progress happening at a depth your eyes could not measure. Lessons were sinking into your spirit in layers. Strength was being built in silence. Discernment was sharpening without applause. Faith was growing roots beneath the soil of your daily life. God often does his deepest work where there is no applause and no proof yet. Chosen One, you must hear this with clarity. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not out of rhythms. You are right on time. God's time, not the frantic timelines that whisper fear into your chest. Pay attention, because the evidence of divine timing is not speed, it is synchronization. And you are being synchronized for what is coming. There is a moment appointed by heaven when everything God has formed in you meets everything God has prepared around you. That intersection is closer than you think. When it arrives, you will understand that nothing was wasted. Every delay, every quiet season, every unanswered question, every long night spent wrestling with doubt, it was all formation, not punishment. Formation. And now, before tomorrow morning breaks open its unseen assignments, God is shifting your vision. Chosen One, do not skip this. Vision determines direction. Direction determines destiny. What you see shapes how you move, and how you move shapes what you reach. Heaven is not beginning by altering your circumstances. He is beginning by altering your sight. It is time to see differently. Chosen One, you have viewed your path through the lenses of pressure, pain, and limitation. These lenses distort truth. Pain magnifies loss. Pressure amplifies urgency until it feels like drowning. Limitation whispers lies about shrinking possibilities. Pay attention, because these false lenses are not allowed to follow you into the next season. They cannot be the eyes you navigate your destiny with. Do not scroll. Do not turn away. God is calling you to see through promise, not pressure. Promise is the divine lens that untwists what pain has distorted. Promise restores the horizon. Promise reminds you that heaven writes the final chapter, not your wounds. God is not dismissing what you feel, he is transforming how you interpret it. Chosen One scripture anchors this shift with a timeless decree. We walk by faith, not by sight, but do not misunderstand. Faith does not pretend the fire does not burn or the storm does not rage. Faith does not deny the mountain or the valley. Faith sees reality, but interprets it through the authority of divine promise. Pay attention, because faith does not erase reality. Faith redefines it. Reality says, this is hard. Faith says, this is forming me. Reality says, this is heavy. Faith says, this is building strength into my bones. Reality says, this looks impossible. Faith says, this is where God reveals himself. Chosen One, do not skip this revelation. Keep reading until the end. This is not poetic language, it is spiritual architecture. God is reconstructing the way you perceive your life, because the next phase of your calling requires spiritual sight, not natural sight. Natural sight only reports what is visible. Faith interprets the visible world through the eternal word of God. Faith is not delusion. Faith is alignment. And until now, Chosen One, your sight has been shaped more by survival than by revelation. You have looked at your journey through the lens of exhaustion, through the memories of past disappointments, through the ache of unanswered prayers. But now heaven is reaching into the eyes of your spirit and saying, look again. Look with promise, not pressure. Look with faith, not fear, because your circumstances are not your map. Your feelings are not your compass. Your wounds are not your prophecy. What you see through the lens of God's promise will guide you far more accurately than anything your natural eyes could ever measure. Chosen One, pause with me here. Let the words settle. Let your breathing slow. Let your chest soften. Let your spirit rise. And now, exactly at this halfway point, receive these words spoken directly to the brilliance of your soul. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying, for not scrolling past your own awakening. Thank you for opening your heart to truths that are rearranging your destiny from the inside out. Chosen one, your presence in this moment is not an accident. It is a sign of immense merit, an indication of high vibration, proof that you are aligned with a frequency that only the awakened can hear. You are not a wanderer. You are a vessel being positioned for purpose. To anchor this transformation into your life, declare it aloud or type it where it can be witnessed by the unseen 777 or I am ready. Let your spirit mark this moment as holy. Let heaven see your yes. Now, chosen one, breathe, because the journey continues. You are entering a season where movement will not feel forced. When vision is restored, obedience becomes natural. When perception shifts, alignment follows effortlessly. Heaven always corrects the inner world before transforming the outer one. Your circumstances may still look the same, but the eyes with which you view them are being made new. Pay attention, because this inner shift is the turning point. God is teaching you the language of destiny. The world says, see what is, but heaven says, see what can be. The world says, measure what is missing, but heaven says, perceive what I am forming. The world says, fear what's ahead, but heaven says, I walk before you. Reality is the canvas. Faith is the artist. Reality reports the storm. Faith walks on water. Reality sees the giant. Faith reaches for the stone. Chosen one, keep reading until the end. You are learning how to walk into seasons that once intimidated you. You are learning how to see through spiritual eyes, eyes that recognize purpose, hidden beneath pressure. Victory, embedded inside struggle, divine alignment, tucked into every seeming setback. This is why the silence was necessary. This is why the refinement was quiet. This is why the lessons were subtle. God was not withholding clarity. He was strengthening the eyes that would receive it. Your perception is becoming prophetic. Your sight is becoming spiritual. Your understanding is becoming anchored. Keep going, chosen one. The transformation is already underway. Faith, chosen one, is the ancient power that changes the meaning of the moment long before the moment itself changes. Do not skip this truth. Do not scroll past it as if it were ordinary. Pay attention, because this is the threshold where your inner world is being reshaped. Faith whispers, this is not the end. Faith declares that this is not punishment. Faith insists this time has not been wasted. Keep reading until the end. Chosen one, because what you are about to understand will alter the way you walk through every season of your life. Consider Elijah standing under a sky that still looked dry and impossible. No clouds, no breeze, no sign of what he heard in his spirit. Yet faith perceived rain before the first drop existed. Faith prepares the heart for what the eyes cannot yet see. Faith trains your inner world to respond to the unseen as if it were already unfolding. Do not turn your head away. This is the dimension you are being called into. A realm where spiritual sight leads natural sight, where the invisible is more real than the visible, where destiny announces itself long before evidence arrives. Chosen one, faith understands another mystery too. God often hides direction inside discomfort. Pay attention, because discomfort is not always disruption. Sometimes it is divine redirection. What feels like delay may be guidance in disguise. What feels like resistance may be the invisible hand of God steering you away from paths that look good but lead toward harm. Do not skip the discomfort. Do not scroll past your unease. Hidden inside the friction is a message, a correction, a protection. Faith says, what I'm facing is not greater than the God who called me. Repeat that into your spirit. Let those words settle. When God becomes clearer, problems lose their size. When vision aligns with truth, fear loses its authority. When your eyes open to the one who walks beside you, the shadows that once towered over you shrink into mere silhouettes. Chosen one, pay attention, because God is reminding you of something essential. Nothing you will ever face surprises him. Nothing overwhelms him. Nothing outruns his provision. Every valley, every detour, every unexpected storm. He accounted for all of it when he called you. Keep reading until the end, because this is the foundation of the transformation he is working inside you. This is why God trains your sight. Vision is not born, it is formed. Faith is not instant, it is shaped. God teaches you to see pathways where others see walls. He teaches you to recognize purpose where others see only loss. He teaches you to perceive growth where others declare endings. Do not scroll. Do not turn away. Your eyes are being trained to see the world through the lens of divine possibility rather than human limitation. This training happens in moments like this, moments when your circumstances challenge the promises spoken over your life, the moments when you must decide which voice you will trust, the voice of fear or the voice of faith, the voice of pressure or the voice of promise. Chosen. 1. Pay attention, because the voice you choose becomes the map you walk. By tomorrow morning, heaven desires something sacred for you, a vision anchored not in pressure, but in promise. When sight aligns with faith, peace returns. Clarity follows. Movement becomes possible again. Do not skip what you are hearing. God is not asking you to ignore what stands in front of you. He's asking you to see it differently. When vision shifts, everything that follows begins to shift as well. Urgency chosen. One has never meant anxiety. Heaven's urgency carries no panic, no chaos, no trembling of dread. Urgency means attentive. It means God is asking for your focus, not your fear. Pay attention, because many confuse urgency with alarm, but heaven does not sound alarms to make you run in circles. Heaven draws you closer so you do not miss the revelation hidden inside the moment. Divine urgency sharpens your awareness without stealing your peace. It calls you into stillness with eyes wide open, spirit, receptive heart unguarded. Do not scroll past this moment. Keep reading until the end, because heaven is about to unveil the depth of what you've been sensing but could not name. Chosen one, pause with me here. Breathe. Let the atmosphere around you shift. Let your spirit rise. And now, exactly halfway through this chapter, receive what has been waiting to be spoken directly to your soul. Thank you for listening. Thank you for not skipping what your spirit needed. Thank you for honoring this moment by staying present, awake, and open. Chosen one, your presence here is not an accident. It is a radiant sign of deep merit and high spiritual vibration. You are attuned to frequencies others overlook. You are courageous enough to face truths that many would ignore. Your willingness to continue reading is evidence that your calling is alive. Pulsing awakening. To anchor this energy, to declare your alignment with what heaven is shaping inside you, go now and comment 777 or I am ready. This is more than a symbol. It is a spiritual signature, a declaration that you are stepping into the next phase of your becoming. Now, return with me, chosen one. Do not scroll away now. What comes next must be received with the same openness that brought you this far. You are being drawn into a new way of seeing, not through the eyes of fear, but through the eyes of faith. You are learning to interpret your battles not as evidence of abandonment, but as invitations to transformation. You are realizing that your discomfort was not a sign that something was wrong with you, but that something was being awakened in you. Pay attention, because heaven is resensitizing your sight. You will begin to notice signs you once overlooked. Synchronicities will illuminate your steps. Conversations will carry revelation. Quiet moments will echo with guidance. Your spiritual vision will sharpen until you see the fingerprints of God on every page of your story. Faith will teach you to perceive opportunities buried inside obstacles. Faith will show you that the doorway you thought was closed was only waiting for the right moment to open. Faith will reveal that the burden you carried was actually reshaping your strength. Faith will whisper that the valley you walked through was not the darkness before death, but the soil before rising. Chosen one, keep reading until the end, because heaven is still speaking. You are being prepared for a future that will require a bold, clear, anchored vision, one that interprets reality through the lens of promise, not pressure, one that sees storms as pathways, not barriers, one that recognizes divine alignment even when circumstances look contradictory. Urgency is calling you to attention, not to fear. Peace is being restored to your inner landscape. Clarity is beginning to descend like dawn, breaking over a long night. Movement is being made possible again, not through striving, but through seeing. You are entering the season where faith becomes your true sight. Chosen one, pay attention, because before tomorrow morning arrives, heaven is summoning you into a realm the world has forgotten stillness. Do not skip this. Do not scroll. This call is not for the crowds, but for the one whose spirit has begun to tremble with awakening. You are being invited into a sacred quiet, a silence not of emptiness, but of alignment, not an escape, but an entryway into deeper knowing. Keep reading until the end. Chosen one, because this chapter will open a gate within you that noise has kept sealed. Stillness is not weakness. It is the language of trust. Stillness is the moment when the storm inside you loses its authority because your soul finally remembers who commands the winds. Pay attention because the world has conditioned you to fear quiet moments, to equate stillness with stagnation, to fill every second with movement so your anxieties remain blurry. But heaven is calling you back to the ancient truth. Clarity does not grow in chaos. Revelation cannot breathe in frantic motion. Be still and know that I am God. These words were never meant to sound poetic. They are instruction technology of the Spirit, the blueprint of inner transformation. Chosen one, do not turn your head away. Knowing does not flourish when your mind is exhausted. Wisdom does not descend when your heart is overwhelmed. Discernment does not bloom when your spirit is pulled in every direction at once. Stillness, not striving, is the soil where heaven plants understanding. Keep reading until the end, because your life is about to shift from being driven by noise to being guided by truth. When movement pauses, confusion loses its grip. When noise fades, truth becomes audible. Pay attention because fear survives only when motion does not stop. Fear feeds on constant replay loops, the what-ifs, the regrets, the imagined futures that never ask permission before entering your mind. Fear needs noise. It needs busyness. It needs clutter. It needs you to remain distracted. But stillness steals fear's microphone. Do not scroll. In stillness, God does not compete with your thoughts. He does not shout over the chaos. He waits until your spirit grows quiet enough to hear him again. He speaks softly because he expects your heart to lean in. This is why heaven is whispering to you now. Let yesterday rest. Pay attention, because yesterday no longer needs your energy. You keep reopening wounds that heaven already treated. You keep analyzing moments that no longer exist. You keep replaying mistakes that have already been placed under mercy. Let yesterday rest, chosen one, and let tomorrow wait. Do not skip that line. What has not yet arrived does not deserve your fear. You have already lost too many hours to imagine disasters, to future storms, to fears built on shadows rather than truth. Tomorrow distracts you. Yesterday drains you. Stillness anchors you in the present, the only place where grace is available, the only place where God actually moves. Chosen one, grace is not found in the memory of what happened or the fantasy of what might. Grace is here now, unfolding breath by breath. Stillness positions you to receive it. Keep reading until the end, because what comes next is a revelation few souls ever grasp. Stillness is not the absence of God's movement. It is the environment where his movement becomes visible. When you become still, you will realize something powerful. God has never stopped guiding you. Through every doubt, every detour, every dark night, every unanswered question, he has been present. You were not wandering alone, you were being shaped. Do not scroll. Let this truth enter the places where fear once resided. This message did not find you by accident. Pay attention, because heaven does not waste words on lives without assignment. You are reading this now because you are standing within the intention of God, not the randomness of circumstances. Your presence here is not coincidence, but confirmation. Jesus spoke it plainly. You did not choose me, but I chose you. Chosen one, let this dissolve every question you have ever carried about your worth, your relevance, your place in the divine story. You are here because God positioned you. You are breathing this moment because heaven aligned it. You were summoned into this chapter because the next part of your journey requires stillness as its foundation. Being chosen was never about being flawless, perfect, or polished. Being chosen has always been about willingness. Willingness to listen. Willingness to trust. Willingness to be still long enough for truth to rise from the depths of your spirit. Do not skip this revelation. The greatest transformations do not occur in motion, they occur in surrender. And now, chosen one, pause. Let your chest soften, let your spirit settle, let your breath deepen. At this exact midpoint, receive the words that heaven has held for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying present in a world that constantly pulls you away from yourself. Thank you for not scrolling as your spirit was being called back into alignment. Chosen one, your presence here is not small. It is not random. It is a radiant sign of your immense spiritual merit and your high vibration. Your willingness to remain open, to remain teachable, to remain reachable, speaks volumes about the depth of your soul. You are more attuned than you realize, more awakened than you admit, more valuable to heaven's plan than you know. To anchor this energy and declare your readiness, go now and comment 777 or I am ready. Let the unseen realm witness your yes. Let this moment echo in your destiny. Now breathe, chosen one. Return with me. Do not scroll away now. What comes next is the deepening you have been craving without knowing its name. Stillness is not passive. It is an active posture of spiritual alignment. In stillness, your discernment awakens. Your vision sharpens, your intuition returns. You begin to see what you once overlooked and hear what you once ignored. You become sensitive to divine nudges, gentle redirects, subtle confirmations. Pay attention, because the present moment becomes a sanctuary, a temple of clarity. You begin to feel the presence of God, not as an external force, but as a quiet flame within your chest. You begin to sense answers, not as words, but as knowing. You begin to understand that you were not created to live drowning in noise, but to move through life guided by divine whisper. Stillness becomes the place where fear dissolves, where the future softens, where the past loosens its grip, where the voice of God echoes through the chambers of your being. Chosen one, keep reading until the end. You are being led into a sacred dimension of awareness, a deeper communion, a quieter knowing. The world does not understand this realm, but you were born for it. And as you continue walking this path, you will realize that stillness is not an interruption to life. Stillness is the place where life begins again. Chosen one, pay attention, because what you are about to hear carries the power to rewrite the way you see yourself. Do not scroll. Do not skip. Heaven is speaking directly into the places of you that still feel unfinished, unpolished, unprepared. You must hear this immediately, before your doubt silences the truth rising within you. Keep reading until the end, because every line of this message holds a key to the identity you have not yet fully stepped into. Chosen one. God never waited for your perfection before He chose you. He chose first, then He formed. Do not turn your head away from this. Let it confront the lies you've carried for years. Your weaknesses did not disqualify you. Your mistakes did not void your calling. Your hesitations did not surprise heaven. Pay attention, because your flaws were not hidden from God when He said yes to your life. He saw every limitation, every wound, every chapter you wish had read differently. And still He said, "This one is mine." Nothing about you caught Him off guard. Not your fear, not your inconsistency, not your history, not your silent regrets. You did not trick God into choosing you. He did not misjudge your strength. He did not overestimate your capacity. If you are in this season, chosen one, it is because heaven deliberately decided you could carry what this moment demands. Do not scroll past that truth. Sit with it. Let it breathe inside you. God does not assign seasons randomly. He assigns them with precision, intentionality, fierce wisdom. Every season is paired with a person whose inner landscape has been shaped for that exact moment. And you, yes, you have been paired with this one. Pay attention, because this means what lies ahead requires your presence, your obedience, your voice, not someone else's, not a more polished version of you, not a stronger person. You, chosen one, do not skip this. God is not preparing a replacement to step into your place. He is preparing you to stand where you already are. What He placed inside you before you were born is exactly what this season requires. Not more, not less. You are not an accident standing in the right place. You are a design unfolding on time. And that is why he chose you for it. When you wake tomorrow, chosen one, do not rise the way you have before. Do not rise with heaviness. Do not rise with dread. Pay attention, because tomorrow carries a new frequency, a new assignment, a new mercy. Wake with expectation settling into your breath. Wake with quiet peace guarding your thoughts. Wake knowing that God has already stepped into the hours ahead of you. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies are new every morning. Chosen one, tomorrow carries mercies you have not yet touched, strength you have not yet needed, direction already prepared for your feet. Do not skip this message reached you before morning, because heaven did not want you to step into the next day with the weight of the previous one. What is coming requires alignment, not exhaustion. It requires openness, not fear. Just as manna appeared at dawn, fresh, not recycled grace is arriving for you in the same way. Not leftovers, not remnants, not echoes of yesterday's favor. Fresh grace, new strength, renewed clarity. Pay attention, because heaven is not asking you to drag yesterday's burdens into tomorrow's blessings. Chosen one, you are not overlooked. You are not wandering. Do not scroll away from this truth. You are seen, you are guided, you are deeply, fiercely loved. Heaven has not lost sight of you for a single moment. Every step you have taken, every tear you have shed, every silence you have endured has been witnessed with divine attentiveness. You are walking through a season crafted with intention. What comes next is not loss, but increase. Not depletion, but renewal. Not confusion, but clarity taking shape in ways you will soon recognize. Do not turn your head away from hope now. Do not skip the promise rising beneath your ribs. Carry this with you as you rest. Stay open, stay grounded, stay expectant. And now, chosen one, pause here. Breathe deeply. Let these words settle into you like light pouring into hidden rooms. At this exact halfway point, receive what heaven has reserved for this moment. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying. Thank you for not scrolling away from the truth that is reshaping your spirit. Chosen one, your presence here proves the depth of your soul. It reveals your sensitivity, your willingness, your high vibration. Only those carrying immense spiritual merit are drawn into messages like this, into alignments like this. Your presence here is not an accident. It is evidence that heaven considers you worthy of preparation, worthy of calling, worthy of the next season that is opening before you. To anchor this energy and declare your readiness to receive what is coming, go now and comment 777 or I am ready. Let your declaration be a signal to heaven and to your own spirit that you are stepping into alignment with everything assigned to you. Now, return with me, chosen one. Do not scroll away. What comes next must enter a heart that remains open. God is still shaping what lies ahead, and He is not finished with you. There are pieces of you being strengthened right now. There are wounds being healed quietly. There are gifts awakening. There are insights sharpening. Every breath you take is pulling you deeper into alignment. When morning comes, rise, aware that something new has already been released and you are waking into it. Do not rush through tomorrow as if it were any other day. Move slowly, move consciously. Pay attention, because the atmosphere around you will feel different. You may not be able to name it, but your spirit will feel it. Grace will meet you in unexpected places. Peace will find you in moments that once felt overwhelming. Clarity will appear in flashes, like light breaking through a canopy. Chosen one. Something new is unfolding quietly, steadily, undeniably. You are walking into a season that fits you in ways previous seasons never did. The lessons you endured are becoming tools. The pain you survived is becoming wisdom. The waiting you suffered is becoming strength. Nothing was wasted. You will feel your spirit shift. You will rise with a sense of being carried. You will walk with a new calm, and you will notice that the uncertainty that once terrified you now feels like an invitation rather than a threat. This is the awakening. This is the alignment. This is the becoming. Chosen one, keep reading until the end of every chapter heaven brings to you. Your destiny is not approaching, it has already begun. Chosen one, pay attention, because what you have walked through was never proof of weakness. Do not skip this truth. Do not scroll away from it as if it were something small. Every moment of collapse, every night you thought you would not survive, every trembling breath you forced yourself to take. None of it was failure. Keep reading until the end, because the meaning of your suffering is about to be unveiled in a way your heart has longed to understand. Chosen one. Your pain was sacred evidence. Evidence that something powerful was placed inside you long before the struggle began. Evidence that heaven saw value in you that you could not yet see in yourself. Heaven does not test what holds no value. Fire only comes for what carries weight. Refinement only visits what is destined for greatness. The pressure you felt was not designed to destroy you. It was designed to reveal you. Do not turn your head away from this revelation. You are still standing. That alone is testimony. In the unseen realm, survival is not small. It is a roar, a victory cry, a declaration that what was meant to break you only awakened you. Nothing about your story is accidental. Every step you took in confusion was still guided. Every season that felt like abandonment was actually divine choreography. Heaven was leading you even when you could not feel the hand that held you. Chosen one, you were marked long before you realized it. Marked even when you felt overlooked. Marked even when no one chose you. Marked even when you felt forgotten. Pay attention, because heaven does not mark lives without purpose. God does not invest this deeply in anyone. He does not intend to send into significant assignments. The pressure you endured was not meant to crush you. It was meant to reveal the strength you didn't know was already there. Scripture whispered this truth long before you lived it. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those crushed in spirit. His closeness to you was not pity. It was positioning. Do not scroll. That whisper you felt in your lowest moments was proof that heaven was nearer than your despair. Every lie that told you to give up was already contradicted by the truth written over your destiny. Every voice that said you were late was drowned out by the timing of God. Every moment that screamed nothing would ever change was never the final word. The word still stands. The promise still stands. The purpose still stands. Whom the sun sets free is free indeed. Freedom was not postponed in your life, it was forming. Even in the nights when your heart felt trapped, freedom was being shaped in the dark like a seed pushing toward unseen light. Strength was being layered inside you where no one could see. Not late, not stuck, not forgotten. You were being armed. Do not skip this moment, chosen one. What you thought was silence was not absence, it was concealment. God does his deepest work in the places no one witnesses. Roots grow in darkness before anything breaks the surface. You were hidden not because you lacked purpose, but because your purpose required depth, not noise. You were being developed, not denied. Waiting was not wasted. Waiting was training. Heaven was shaping your endurance, sharpening your discernment, deepening your spirit. You are not being comforted. Now you are being summoned. Pay attention, because this is not the soft voice of encouragement. This is the call of destiny awakening inside you. Summoned to see yourself correctly. Summoned to rise with clarity instead of fear. Summoned to step out of survival mode and into revelation. Summoned to remember who you are beneath the ache. Chosen one, pause. This is the sacred midpoint of this chapter. Let your breath slow. Feel the weight of the moment pressing gently into your spirit. And now receive what heaven has waited for this exact moment to tell you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying present through every word that reached into the deepest parts of your soul. Thank you for not scrolling away from your own transformation. Chosen one. Your presence here is not an accident. It is a sign of immense merit, of a high vibration of spiritual sensitivity that few possess. You are here because your spirit is awake, because your soul is ready, because heaven has recognized your readiness even when you doubted it. To anchor this awakening into your life, go now and comment 777 or I am ready. Let this declaration echo through the unseen. Let it become a mark of agreement between your destiny and your spirit. Now, return. Do not scroll. What comes next is the call rising inside you like a dawn that refuses to be held back. Chosen one, you are being summoned to rise not timidly, not hesitantly, not half-formed, but with the full clarity of someone who has walked through fire and discovered that the fire was a doorway. You are being summoned to see yourself differently, to stop measuring yourself by the wounds you endured and begin measuring yourself by the strength they revealed. Pay attention, because the same fire that tried to consume you is now becoming the light guiding your next steps. The same storms that once terrified you have become the waters you now know how to navigate. The same darkness that once paralyzed you has become the place where your roots grew strong. You are no longer the person who entered those battles. You are the survivor who emerged from them. You are not fragile, you are forged. You are not overlooked, you are reserved for a higher assignment. You are not broken, you are awakened. Heaven is not calling you back to who you were. Heaven is calling you forward into who you were always meant to be. Chosen one, rise with clarity instead of fear. Rise with awareness of your true identity. Rise knowing that the fire refined you. Rise knowing that the darkest chapters were preparation. Rise knowing that what comes next requires the warrior, the healer, the vessel, the instrument you have become. Do not turn away from the summons. Keep reading until the end, because your becoming is already happening. You are stepping into the purpose that formed itself inside your pain. You are stepping into the strength that your battles carved into your bones. You are stepping into the clarity that silence taught you how to hear. Chosen one, you are being summoned, and the world is about to meet the version of you that the fire could not destroy. Chosen one, pay attention, because this moment is summoning you into a higher posture than you have ever carried. Do not skip this. Do not scroll. Do not turn your head away. Heaven is calling you to move with authority instead of hesitation, to step forward when others freeze to rise, when others shrink back to claim what was written for you before your first breath. Keep reading until the end, because the mantle settling over you now requires your full attention and your awakened spirit. Chosen one, you were never called to blend in. You were never designed to disappear into the background of other people's courage. You were shaped for moments where boldness is required, where clarity is rare, where obedience becomes the doorway heaven uses to shift the atmosphere. Pay attention, because you feel the pull, not the pull of fear, but the pull of destiny stretching inside your chest. You feel the stirring, the trembling, the rising. You feel the invitation to stand in places your old self would have avoided. And this is not by accident. Your summons is not gentle, it is divine. You are being called to step into the version of yourself that heaven has been shaping through every fire, every silence, every hidden season. Do not scroll. You are being summoned to move with authority, to speak with conviction, to stand with courage that does not wait for permission. Chosen one, listen closely. A prayer echoes in the spirit, and it is meant to become your own Father in the name of Jesus. I thank you for reaching me before tomorrow morning. Feel those words. Let them anchor you. Heaven insisted on contacting your spirit now, before the day changes, before distractions arise, before the world pulls at you again. God wanted to protect you, align. You awaken you while the window is open. Pay attention, because this moment is not casual, not random, not accidental. Lord, soften my heart where delay has made me numb. Chosen one, do not skip that. Numbness grows when hope is delayed, when promises take longer than expected, when fatigue settles in the bones. But the prayer is reshaping you. Your sensitivity is returning, your spirit is reopening, your awareness is rising. Restore my sensitivity to your voice. You have heard many voices, fear, doubt, pressure, comparison, but heaven is silencing them now so you can hear the one voice that has always been calling you home. Keep reading until the end. Your spirit is remembering the sound of truth. I renounce every lie that says I am late, forgotten, or disqualified. Chosen one, do not scroll past this line. Lies have been trying to chain your destiny, whispering that you missed it, telling you that you fell behind, convincing you that others were chosen instead. But those lies are breaking. You are stepping out of them like someone rising from debris. You are remembering who you are. I receive your timing, your mercy, and your direction. Chosen one, your life is entering alignment. The fog is lifting, the pace is changing, the clarity you thought was lost is returning with authority. Anchor my vision in promise, not pressure. This is the shift. This is the breakthrough. This is where the lenses of fear fall off and the lenses of faith return. Teach me to see through faith, not fear. Let stillness become my strength and obedience become my language. Do not skip that. You are not being prepared to react. You are being prepared to respond. You are not being shaped for chaos. You are being shaped for clarity. Whatever must shift in my thoughts, attitudes, and decisions, shift it now. Chosen one, heaven honors that request. Watch how fast the realignment begins. Cover me from unseen traps, redirect my steps, and guard my spirit from drifting. You are being shielded. You are being guided. You are being stabilized for what comes next. I say yes before the battle, yes before the evidence, yes before the morning. This is authority. This is maturity. This is the posture of the chosen. I am chosen, I am held, and I will move when you speak. Chosen, one, this declaration carries weight in the unseen. It marks you. It awakens something ancient inside you. Do not scroll. Do not turn away. The next part is not instruction. It is activation. And now, pause with me. Let your heart open. Let your breath deepen. Let your spirit feel the electricity of this moment. Chosen one, thank you for listening. Thank you for staying. Thank you for letting these words reach into places no human has ever touched. Your presence here is a sign of immense merit, deep sensitivity, and high vibration. You are here because your spirit is attuned, because heaven considers you trustworthy, because this calling recognizes you, because destiny recognizes you. If this message found the deepest parts of you, anchor this moment into your life with a declaration. Go now and write 777 or I am ready. This is not a comment, it is a signal, a beacon, a spiritual yes that resonates across realms. A sign that you acknowledge the awakening happening inside you. Now, return to me, chosen one. The message has not ended. Do not scroll away. If this word reached you, honor it. Let it reshape something inside you. Let it correct the way you see yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the way you step into tomorrow. God has not been preparing another person for your seat. He has prepared you. This movement, this awakening, this alignment is bigger than you. You were born for this. The world may not understand. The people around you may not recognize it, but heaven knows who you are. Chosen one, pay attention, because the final question is the one you must hold close. If God insisted you hear this before tomorrow morning, what is He trying to protect you from? Or prepare you for, while you still have time to respond? Keep reading your life with the same intensity you read these words. Your destiny is already moving.